boost your English.
From English Podcast with John.
Hey friends, how are you feeling today? We're so happy to have you here at English Podcast with John. Today, we're going to talk about the topic, talking about your friends in English. We'll guide you step by step so you can start using English confidently in your daily life. Hello there. It's so great to have you with us again.
Hello. It's wonderful to be here. I'm feeling great, thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And I'm really excited for today's topic, talking about friends. How about you?
Me too. I mean, friendship is such a universal topic. It's something we talk about almost every single day, isn't it?
It really is.
I just can't wait to get started and help our listeners learn some of these really essential phrases.
That's exactly right. Now, before we jump into all the phrases and vocabulary, we just have a quick, friendly reminder for you. If you find this conversation useful for your English learning, please remember to subscribe, like, and maybe even share it with other people who are also learning English.
Yes. When you share what you learn, it really helps other learners find our conversation.
That's a great way to put it.
Think of it as sharing a good learning tool with a friend. We really appreciate your support, and we just love seeing our community grow.
Fantastic. Okay, let's begin. We're going to talk all about English phrases for friends. And remember, we will speak slowly and clearly throughout this entire conversation so you can easily follow along and practice your pronunciation.
Let's do it.
So we're starting with section 1, casual conversation starters related to friends. These are, very simple sentences you can use right away.
Perfect for getting a conversation started. They're direct, they're easy to understand, and they're very, very common.
Exactly. So let's start with 2 simple questions. I'll explain them, and then we'll practice repeating them together.
Sounds good.
The first question is about quantity. How many friends someone has, we ask. How many friends do you have?
We use the word many because we're asking about a number, right? A quantity of people.
Precisely. So say this question slowly with me now. Really focus on the pronunciation of have. How many friends do you have?
One more time.
How many friends do you have? Okay, good. The second question focuses on one special person. Do you have a best friend?
A best friend. That means your number one friend, the closest, most important friend you have.
Right. So let's practice this specific question. Do you have a best friend?
Again.
Do you have a best friend?
Excellent practice. Now, I'll model some simple, common ways to answer these 2 questions. You should listen and maybe practice thinking about your own answer.
Good idea.
So, for that first question, how many friends do you have? Well, you can give a very general answer using many. For instance, I have many friends. This just means a large number.
Okay.
Or you could be a bit more specific. Maybe talk about only your closest friends. Like this. I have 3 close friends.
And that's a good point. Close friends means friends you are very connected to, not necessarily friends who live close to you.
That's right. Now, for the question about your best friend, you can give a really short answer, or one that's a little longer, for example. Yes, I have one best friend. Or, if you don't really have one person you consider the best, you could say, no, I do not have a best friend. Or even, no, I have many close friends instead.
Wonderful. Now let's put these 4 sentences together in a very short natural mini dialogue. Listen closely to how the conversation flows.
Okay.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How many friends do you have?
I have many friends, but I have 3 close friends.
Oh, that's great. Do you have a best friend?
Yes, I have one best friend.
See how quickly you can start a simple conversation. It's a really good idea to practice that exchange a few times. Maybe replace the answers with your own true information.
Absolutely. And moving from just simple counting to a real conversation. Well, that's our goal today. All right, we are now moving to section 2, asking and answering questions about friends. This is where we'll focus on using different verb structures and different tenses to give more details.
We'll cover 3 important conversational areas here. Describing personality with the present tense, talking about shared activities with the present simple, and then talking about how you met using the past tense.
Let's start with A. Describing friends using the present tense. When we describe a friend's personality, we use descriptive words. We call them adjectives.
Right.
The basic sentence structure is super simple. My friend is, adjective.
And we use the verb is because we're talking about a characteristic of that person, something that is, generally true about them.
Exactly. So let's learn 4 very positive and common adjectives you can use. First up, funny. They make you laugh.
A very important quality.
Second, kind. This means they are nice and helpful to people. Third, smart. So they're intelligent and they know many things.
Mm.
And fourth, supportive. This is a great one. It means they help you and encourage you, especially when you need it.
I think supportive is such a useful word when you're talking about good friends.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's practice the core structure together. Repeat this 3-word structure after me twice. My friend is.
Again.
My friend is.
Perfect. Now I'll model a sentence using one of those words. Listen to how I use the adjective kind and then give a little more information to explain it.
Okay.
My friend is very kind. She always helps people.
I see. So that second sentence, she always helps people, it explains why the friend is kind. That makes your description so much better, more detailed.
Exactly.
Now, how do we ask someone for this information? This is the question that sometimes confuses learners. We ask, what is your friend like?
And this is a really important one.
It is. It's so important to understand that in this question, the word like does not mean enjoyment, as in, I like pizza. Here, like means, what type of person are they? What is their personality?
That's a classic point of confusion, isn't it? The two meanings of like.
It is. So let's practice repeating this essential question twice. Let's do it very slowly and clearly. What is your friend like? What is your friend like? So if I were to ask you, what is your friend like?
I would answer using a few adjectives, I might say. She is smart and she is also very funny. She always makes me laugh.
Excellent. Now, we want you to try to answer this question about your friend. Use 2 adjectives.
Take a moment and say your answer out loud. For example, you could say, my friend is kind and supportive.
Go on, give it a try.
Let's move to B, talking about activities using the present simple tense. Now, we use the present simple tense to talk about habits, things you and your friends do often or regularly.
Right. And the basic structure for this is we often verb together. The key word here is often, which tells us this is a regular habit. Let's learn some common activity verbs related to friendship. For example, study, if you're students, watch movies,
A classic.
go shopping, or travel, if you go on trips together.
Right. I'll model a sentence using one of these. Listen for that structure. My friend and I often go for coffee on Saturdays.
Ah, so it's a regular action. It's a habit because it's every Saturday.
Exactly.
Another good example could be we watch movies every Friday night. Or maybe we study together 3 times a week.
All good habits.
Now, how do we ask about these habits? The question structure is pretty straightforward. What do you do together?
Easy to remember.
It is. Listeners, can you repeat this question now, please? Focus on the word together. What do you do together?
Then more time.
What do you do together? Good. Now let's practice the full exchange. We'll say the question and then a sample answer. I want you to repeat this entire exchange twice.
Okay, ready?
What do you do together?
We often watch movies together.
Let's repeat that again. Focus on a clear and natural rhythm. What do you do together?
We often watch movies together. It's a great idea to practice speaking these questions and answers until they feel really comfortable and natural in your mouth.
Definitely. Our third focus in this section is C, talking about meeting, which uses the past tense. So when you tell the story of how your friendship began, you have to use the past tense.
Right, because it happened in the past. And the most important verb here is meet. Remember, meet is an irregular verb. The past tense of meet is met.
That's a key one.
It is. Let's practice that change. Meet.
Met. So the structure for telling the story is we met, and then you add the time or the place.
For example, if you're talking about both the location and the time, you could say, we met 5 years ago in university.
And the word met tells us that the action is finished, it's over. The meeting happened in the past 5 years ago.
That's it.
Let's practice that model sentence very slowly. Focus on making a clear sound for met. We met 5 years ago in university.
And again.
We met 5 years ago in university. Great. Now for the question structure, we need to use the past tense helper verb did. So we ask, where did you meet your friend?
This question asks about that single finished action in the past, the moment you first met.
Let's all repeat the question now. Where did you meet your friend?
One more time.
Where did you meet your friend?
And we can also ask about the time using the word when. When did you meet your friend?
Right. And the answer would focus on the time we met last year, or we met in 2020.
Exactly.
Let's practice the core past tense sentence structure one more time. Think of your own meeting story and say it with me. We met.
One more time for practice.
We met.
Excellent. Using the correct tenses really does make your conversations sound much richer and more accurate.
It really does. Okay, now we're moving to section 3, Key expressions and common phrases. These are ready-to-use phrases that native English speakers use all the time when talking about friends.
And using them will make you sound so much more natural. We're focusing on entire phrases here, not just single words, because these phrases express specific feelings about the relationship itself.
A great point. Let's start with A, discussing closeness. Our first phrase is close friend. Now, we already introduced this, but let's look at its usage again. A close friend is a very good friend you trust and can share important, sometimes secret, thoughts with. Here's a good example sentence that uses the superlative form. Closest. She is my closest friend. We talk every day.
The phrase closest friend really emphasizes that she is the most important friend in your life.
Exactly. Let's repeat that example sentence twice. Focus on the sound of closest. She is my closest friend. We talk every day.
And again.
She is my closest friend. We talk every day.
That phrase shows such high reliability and trust. Now let's look at phrase 2, get along well. Oh, I love this phrase.
Yeah, it's so useful, right? To get along well is just a common way to say that you have a smooth, positive relationship.
You like each other's company, and most importantly, you usually don't argue or fight. No drama.
Right. If you ask someone, how is your relationship with your friend? And they say, we get along well, it means everything is easy and positive.
For example, my friend and I get along well. We never argue about important things.
Let's just practice that phrase itself, get along well. It's a 3-word verb phrase. Get along well.
Again.
Get along well.
We really encourage you to use get along well when you're describing any positive relationship with friends, colleagues, even family. It's just much more natural than saying we have a good relationship.
So true. Okay, next, let's look at B, sharing positive qualities. These phrases describe the value and the quality of your friend's support.
The good stuff.
The really good stuff. Phrase 3, always there for me. This is such a beautiful phrase. It really shows loyalty. When a friend is always there for me, it means they offer reliable support during both good times and bad times.
Yeah, it means you can count on them. If you're sad or facing a challenge or even celebrating a success, they will be present to help you or share that moment with you.
It's especially powerful when you talk about difficult moments in life.
Definitely.
For example, when I was sick last winter, he was always there for me.
A perfect example.
Let's practice repeating the key part of this phrase twice, just this part. Always there for me. Always there for me.
Again.
Always there for me.
This phrase is so common because, really, true friendship is defined by that reliability and support.
That is so true. And our final phrase in this section is phrase 4. Have a lot in common.
Another great one.
Yeah. If you have a lot in common, it just means you share many similar interests, hobbies, or maybe similar experiences and ideas.
This is often why friendships start in the first place. You discover you both like hiking, or you both love the same type of music, you have things to talk about and activities to share naturally.
Right.
Here's an example. We both love reading and playing chess, so we have a lot in common.
Now, we can also use the contrasting phrase if you're very different. You can say, we have nothing in common. This just means you don't share any interests.
The complete opposite.
Let's practice both phrases. Repeat after me slowly. First, the positive one. We have a lot in common. We have a lot in common. Now, for the opposite phrase, we have nothing in common.
Once more.
We have nothing in common.
And notice that just changing that one word, lot, to nothing, changes the meaning completely, but the sentence structure stays the same. That makes it easier to remember both.
It does. Okay, let's do a C-short interactive practice right now. This will help you use the phrases immediately.
Time to speak.
That's right. Think clearly about your best friend or close friend we talked about earlier. Now, I want you to choose one of these 2 phrases. Always there for me, or get along well.
Okay, now form a complete sentence and say it out loud. You can include your friend's name if you want to. For example, my friend Maria and I get along well.
Take a moment right now. Say your sentence out loud. It is so important to activate that speaking muscle.
That is fantastic. Remember, every single time you practice speaking a new phrase, you're training your brain to remember it and use it automatically in a real conversation. Great work.
Really good job. We're now moving into section 4. Cultural tips and idiomatic phrases. These are natural phrases and words that native speakers use, and learning them will greatly improve your understanding of spoken English.
I love idioms. They're interesting because their literal meaning is often very different from their actual metaphorical meaning. But don't worry, we'll explain them very clearly.
We will. Our first simple idiom is a shoulder to cry on. First, let's think about the literal meaning. A shoulder is a part of your body, and to cry is what you do when you're very sad.
Right. But the metaphorical meaning is a person who listens to you, supports you, and offers comfort when you are sad or struggling with a problem. They are there for your emotional support.
Exactly. You don't always physically cry on their shoulder. It's a figure of speech. It just means they are a reliable source of comfort.
A beautiful image, though.
It is. Here's a simple context example. Sometimes after a difficult day at work, I just need a shoulder to cry on.
It's a very common phrase. We often say, a good friend is always a shoulder to cry on.
Let's practice this key phrase. Repeat it after me slowly.
Twice.
A shoulder to cry on.
Again.
A shoulder to cry on.
Now let's repeat my slightly longer sentence. Really focus on the meaning. A good friend is often a shoulder to cry on.
One more time.
A good friend is often a shoulder to cry on.
Great. Next is bicultural tip. Using buddy or pal. Now, these are two words that mean friend, but they're very informal and casual.
Very casual. Buddy is super common in American and Canadian English, and pal is heard more often in, say, British or Irish English. Both are just friendly alternatives to the word friend.
And you use them with people you know well, typically close friends or maybe just casual acquaintances. They show an immediate friendliness.
And while they historically referred mainly to male friends, nowadays they're often used more generally for anyone, but in a very casual way.
You can use them to greet someone or when you're saying goodbye.
Right.
So for a greeting example, hey buddy, let's go eat lunch. And an example for goodbye. See you later, pal.
But remember, this is for spoken casual English only. Please do not use buddy or pal in formal writing.
Yes, definitely don't put hey buddy in a job application email.
Please don't.
Let's practice saying both words. Buddy.
Buddy. Pal. You know, using these words can make your spoken English sound much more comfortable and natural, but only in those informal settings.
Absolutely. We've covered so many phrases and structures today. Now, before we finish, let's do a quick C writing activity.
Writing really helps to move that new vocabulary from your short-term memory to your long-term memory.
It really does. So we encourage you to write 2 sentences about your own friends using the new phrases we learned today. And if you can't write right now, that's okay. Just try to form the sentences clearly in your head.
Okay, sentence number 1.
For sentence 1, use we have a lot in common, and try to name the specific things you share.
For example, my friend and I both love to cook Italian food, so we have a lot in common.
And for sentence 2, use my friend is always there for me, and try to describe the quality of their support.
Like this. My friend is always there for me when I need good advice.
Okay, we'll give you about 5 seconds. Write or form those 2 sentences. Try speaking them slowly and correctly in your mind.
Okay, how did that feel? Giving yourself these small, focused practice activities is really the best way to improve your English skills and make these new phrases a natural part of your vocabulary.
That is correct. Consistent practice is what leads to better confidence and communication. And just like that, we have reached the end of our conversation today about talking about your friends. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure.
We covered all the essential parts of having a conversation about friendship.
Yeah.
You know, how to start a conversation, how to describe your friends, and how to use key natural phrases like get along well and idioms like a shoulder to cry on.
A lot of great stuff.
Yeah. Now, we have a little challenge for you, our listener. We want you to practice by talking about yourself using these phrases.
Yes.
Think about a time a friend was a shoulder to cry on for you, or who you have a lot in common with. If you're listening on a platform that allows comments, please leave your sentences or thoughts there. This is your chance to practice writing and communicating in English.
And remember that consistent daily practice is the most important part of learning English. Try to listen, speak, or write a little bit of English every day. Even short practice sessions make a huge difference over time.
Absolutely. And one final reminder from us. If you found this English conversation useful and helpful for your learning, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other English learners who are also working hard to improve.
Stay motivated, keep practicing your speaking, and we will be back very soon with more conversations to help you learn and grow.
We will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.